Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the MCR, number 577. This late morning, early afternoon edition. A little under the weather a couple of days now, so this is coming out late. We'd like to thank everyone who watches on a regular basis. We ask you to like, share, and subscribe to whichever channel, whatever platform you're watching on, be it BitChute, YouTube, NewTube, HugeTube, Brighton, and so on and so forth. Rumble, where we have 213 subscribers, but no views. And anybody's got some suggestions about how to fix that problem, please let me know in the comment section below. So I got a couple of stories that you may not have seen in the mainstream media because they like to lie through omission as well as lie in general. They're not an honest professional organizations that they were in the past. If they really ever were. They haven't lived all the history. So I want to talk about recent comments by Bill Maher about, what's the word? Presentism. Apparently presentism is where you judge people from the past. He makes the comment that you judge people in 1066 for what they did by today's woke mores. And it's just asinine thing to do. It makes no sense. It's not logical. It's not reasonable. If you didn't live in that time, he cites an example of how people will think they're better than George Washington because you have a gay friend, and I do. I don't think I'm better than Washington, however, because you had a gay friend and he didn't. But had I lived in 1780, I may not have. And we don't know for a fact that he didn't. It just, people kept that in the closet, so to speak. So Maher goes on to talk about presentism, and he uses a couple of cases. One where there's a new movie called The Woman King, which is one of my favorite actresses, Viola Davis, is in that movie. And she was getting some heat about the movie, the content of the movie. And she says it's fictional. But the problem is, Ms. Davis, is that it's being presented, it's being replaced, it's replacing the truth with this fictionalized story and presenting it as true when it isn't true. People like to say, Maher went on to say actually that everybody who could afford a slave had one. And that included black people too, who were well off at the time. Not everyone was a slave that was black in this country. We saw the 1619 Project, which wants to rewrite history and say the country really began in 1619, not in 1776, with the Declaration of Independence from Great Britain. And that we fought the British in two wars to retain slavery because, the British had abolished it at one point. So Maher, who's likes to fashion himself as a classical liberal opposed to a leftist, comes out every once in a while and hits the nail on the head. And this is another case where he's done that. He's right. You can't judge people of the past by today's standards. It's like if you're a baseball fan, you know that what Hank Aaron did was different than what Babe Ruth did, and what Barry Bonds did was very different than what Hank Aaron did. And as far as I'm concerned, Hank Aaron is the real home run king. Barry Bonds was a cheater and a fraud, and cheated when he didn't have to. The guy was a lock Hall of Famer. But that's another. I digress, as ABL likes to say on his show. Now, the Queen of England has passed away. If you haven't been in a coma, you know this. And the reason I bring it up is that I was looking at comments. Now, I'm not a monarchist. I think it's silly. I think it's, and I'm a tradition lover, but this has gone on too long. And then I see these comments about, her life of service. And then I find out she's worth $88 billion. Well, where do I sign up for that kind of service? But some of the comments I saw were just hateful, ridiculous, stupid. And these are a lot of these are the Q people that come up with this nonsense. And by the way, I think Q is a CIA psych op to keep us in chaos on our own side. This channel gets probably more bashing from those kind of folks than from the far left, which they don't even watch us. Yeah, we get in a troll occasionally, but that happens. But some of the comments were, the coffin is empty, she's been executed at Gitmo. I mean, yeah, what else could it be? I mean, the woman was in poor health at 96 years old. Of course she was executed at Gitmo for being a child trafficker. And I caution people who call themselves Christians to be mindful about what you say about other people that you don't know for a fact. She was a child trafficker, blah, blah, blah. I don't know if that was true. I don't know that it isn't true. But where's the evidence? I'll caution you Christians not to bear false witness, because that's a grave sin. So these comments like that were just hateful. I'm glad she's dead. She's going to rot in hell, blah, blah, blah. Those kind of comments are just nasty, unnecessary. They do no good. They make us look bad, because I'm going to tell you, a lot of these people are on the right, and there's a lot of nutters on the right. The claim of extremism is fake. All the violence comes from the left, and that's a fact. You can't tell me when the last time I mean, we're always blamed on the right. Every time there's a school shooting, it was a Trump-supporting NRA member, and then you find out later it's, some guy who's in Islam, and he's a loyal Democrat or some other kind of nut. But I'm going to wrap it up with that. I think Mar is spot on point with his comments. You can't judge people of the past. And the nasty comments about the Queen, it's uncalled for. Don't do it. Just let her rest in peace. May God have mercy on her soul, as I'd like him to have mercy on mine. She'll be judged for whatever she did or didn't do, because you do get judged for what you don't do too, I might say. But I'll wrap it up with, be safe. Watch your six. Don't tread on me. And rest in peace, Elizabeth II.